underneath the Great Pyramid that go kilometers deep into the earth with coils.
And yet, no Egyptian pharaoh was ever found in a pyramid in Egypt.
Two biggest mummification workshops unearthed in the ancient burial ground of Saqqara.
Deep in the hot desert of Egypt, experts have found something that made even the toughest people feel scared. Hidden for thousands of years, strange and scary paintings inside a secret pyramid have now been seen, and they are very real. These creepy pictures are not just normal old art. They show dark acts, unknown powers, and secrets that could change everything we know about the old kings. What do these spooky paintings really mean? Why were they kept hidden for so long? Join us in this video as we reveal the shocking details. The terrifying pyramid paintings, discovered by archaeologists. Archaeologists in Egypt have said they found a tomb that is about 4,000 years old. This tomb was found close to the pyramids that stand outside of Cairo. Many people find this very amazing and exciting. Ancient Egypt is still one of the most interesting and mysterious places in the whole world. People have been studying Egypt for a very long time, but there are still so many secrets hiding under the sand. There are many strange objects and buildings that people do not fully understand even today. One very strange and old object is called the Narmer Palette. This is a big piece of dark green stone. It is kept inside the Egyptian Museum in Cairo now. People think it is about 5,000 years old, which is very, very old. Many people believe it shows the moment when King Narmer joined Upper and Lower Egypt together. But no one really knows for sure if that is what it truly shows. The stone has many odd pictures and symbols on it, like a catfish, shapes that look like chisels, and other drawings. It even shows headless bodies and tied-up animals with twisted necks. There is a bull that looks like it is knocking down a city wall. On one side of the stone, Narmer wears a white crown. This crown stands for Upper Egypt. On the other side, he wears a red crown. That red crown stands for Lower Egypt. Because of this, some people say it clearly shows he ruled both lands. But experts and scholars do not all agree. Some people think it shows a real battle that really happened. Some think it is just to show royal power. Others think it might be a mix of different ideas. It also has some very violent and shocking images, like a line of headless men with their private parts on top of their heads. There are also two strange monsters with long necks in the middle. Some people say these monsters mean peace, while others say they mean chaos. Even now, nobody fully understands what this stone was trying to say to us. Another big mystery can be found in the tombs of Beni Hassan. These tombs are cut into the side of high cliffs in Middle Egypt. They were made more than 4,000 years ago. Inside one of these tombs, the tomb of Khnumhotep II, there is a painting that shows a group of people who do not look like Egyptians. They are shown wearing colorful clothes and have different hairstyles. They bring gifts to the Egyptians. Some people think these people were traders. Some think they were prisoners. Others think they might have been future enemies or conquerors. These visitors look very different from Egyptians. Their skin colors, clothes, and weapons are not the same. They walk in a line, which looks very formal, but also kind of friendly. Some people say they were friendly visitors bringing gifts. Other people think they might have been prisoners forced to come. There are other tombs nearby with more paintings. These show foreign warriors, hunters, and families. Some seem to fight with Egyptians, and others look like they are coming peacefully with animals and children. No one is sure what all these paintings really mean. They were painted to last forever, but the real message is still a big question, even now. What secrets still lie hidden in other tombs and paintings that go beyond these first mysterious visitors? Let's learn more. Scrolls, marsh hunts, and lost green worlds. In 2022, a very long Book of the Dead scroll was found near the Step Pyramid of Djoser. This scroll is 52 feet long, which is very big. It was buried with a man named Ahmose. This is the first time in over 100 years that such a complete scroll has been found. Ahmose lived around 300 BC. We do not know much else about him. Someone, maybe even Ahmose himself, paid for this scroll. It is full of beautiful drawings, words, spells, and pictures of gods and monsters. The scroll was meant to help guide Ahmose's soul in the afterlife. On the scroll, his name appears over 260 times. People speculate that this could have a special meaning, but they are unsure. Perhaps he belonged to a priesthood or secret organization. A talented scribe created the scroll, and the artwork is still intact. It shows Osiris and scenes of judgment, with the monster Ammit waiting to eat souls. Even though it has been read and translated, experts think there might be hidden meanings still waiting to be discovered. We still do not really know why Ahmose had such an amazing scroll or who he really was deep inside. Additionally, Mena's tomb has a painting. It initially appears to be a straightforward image of a man hunting birds in a swamp. However, there is more to this painting than just ornamentation. More than 3,000 years ago, it was painted. The swamp water represents the beginning of creation and life. Chaos is symbolized by the departing birds. By catching them, Mena is proving that he can bring about order. This act could have been interpreted as magic, and it may have resulted in his rebirth after death. Mena is shown standing on a boat in the painting. He is accompanied by his spouse and kids. Ducks and lotus flowers are present. Some experts believe that love and fertility have deeper meanings. Others believe it had to do with power and magic. Some people see soft, gentle shapes and think there is an erotic side. It is still a mystery if it was about real life, magic, or both. In the mountains of the Tadrart Akakus in Libya, there is old rock art. These pictures were made over 14,000 years ago. The pictures show giraffes, elephants, cows, and people. The art shows that long ago, the Sahara was green, not dry and sandy like it is today. There were lakes, plants, and animals everywhere. A few of the images depict joyful people dancing. Here, scientists have discovered evidence of milk fat that dates back more than 7,500 years, indicating that people raised animals for milk. How people lived and evolved as the land changed is the key question. First, it was green, then it became dry and turned into a desert. We do not know exactly how people survived this big change. They left no writing, only pictures on rocks. These pictures are slowly fading because of time and people destroying them. Beyond all the famous pyramids and grand monuments we think we know so well, what hidden stories might still be waiting inside the tombs and forgotten chambers of Egypt's ancient past? Let's find out. Secrets of Perb and the Pyramid of Unas. A new discovery close to the Great Pyramid of Giza has brought back attention to a special tomb. This is the tomb of a priest named Perb. Even though this private tomb was first found in 1996, something inside it surprised experts in 2012. There was a painting that really shocked the people who study ancient Egypt. This painting was inside Perneb's tomb, and it was so detailed and special that it made people look at the tomb again with fresh eyes. This tomb is very old. It is about 4,300 years old. It is not far from the famous Great Pyramid. In fact, it is only about 1,000 feet away from it. The area around the Great Pyramid was a place where important people were buried. These people included priests, high officials, and even members of the royal family. So Perneb's tomb being so close to the pyramid shows that he was an important person too. The painting inside the tomb was made on fine white plaster. It did not just show normal daily life, it also showed a journey through death and then to new life again. The painting showed a trip down the Nile River and into the afterlife. In the painting, there are boats sailing to the south. There are people hunting birds in the marshes. You can also see Perneb standing proudly next to his wife and his loyal dog. These pictures were not just random. They were not just simple everyday pictures. They showed that Perneb had a high social position. They demonstrated his connection to the gods and his desire to go to the afterlife. The tomb's proximity to the Great Pyramid was not by chance. Rather, it was a very special and planned arrangement. It demonstrated that individuals such as Perneb even if they were not kings, wanted to remain near these sacred and powerful sites after they died. The paintings have faded over time, but they still tell us a great deal, hinting at ancient rituals that may seem a little enigmatic or even unsettling to us now. They reveal to us what the ancient Egyptians thought about death and power. They reveal to us what they thought happened afterward. This tomb is like a small piece of a much bigger spiritual puzzle. It makes us wonder about how all the tombs and pyramids around Giza might have been connected together in a kind of spiritual network. Now, let's move to another very interesting place, the Pyramid of Unas. This pyramid was built during Egypt's 5th dynasty. At first, it might not look as amazing as the Great Pyramid because from the outside it looks small and a bit worn out. But the inside is really amazing and special. Inside this pyramid, there are some of the oldest known religious writings in the world. These writings are called pyramid texts. They were carved on the walls of the burial chamber. There are more than 283 spells and magic words. These words were supposed to help the dead king, Unas, get to the afterlife safely. The walls are covered with hieroglyphs, and they are painted in a magical shade of blue. These spells were not just to guide Unas, they were also to protect him during his dangerous journey through the underworld. When you walk inside this pyramid, you can feel something special. You can feel the power of the words on the walls. Each spell was like a key that opened doors in the afterlife. The pyramid also has a long walkway that shows scenes from Unas' life. One important scene shows his army winning a battle against Bedouin tribes. Another scene shows people who look very thin and weak, maybe because of famine. This might show a disaster, or it might show how much power the king had over life and death. The deeper you go into the pyramid, the more questions you get. What else could these old spells be hiding? What do these scenes really mean? Keep watching to find out more details. Sacred Secrets in Abu Raash and Saqqara. There is a location known as Abu Raash, a little further north. The history of this place is quite mysterious. Abu Raash has a significant mystery, but it is not as well known as Giza. A monarch by the name of Djedefre began construction on this pyramid. The renowned pharaoh Khufu, who constructed the Great Pyramid, was his father. Djedefre decided to construct his pyramid on a high rocky location. He desired for it to be situated above the other pyramids. Perhaps he aimed to make his pyramid appear larger or more formidable than his father's. We can tell they took their time on this project because the stones used here were carefully shaped and positioned. Then, something occurred. Historians think the pyramid was left unfinished. Maybe Djedefre died suddenly, or maybe something else happened that made the workers stop. Today, the pyramid at Abu Raash looks very broken. There is not much left of the first design. People wonder if it was meant to be bigger than the Great Pyramid, or if some trouble stopped the work. We still do not really know. This mystery keeps experts interested even today. There is also something found in Saqqara. Saqqara is a huge burial place not too far from Cairo. Many important people were buried there long ago. Recently, archaeologists found something very surprising. 2 very complete mummification workshops. These workshops were hidden for a very long time. When they were found, they amazed people everywhere. These workshops show us not just how Egyptians prepared bodies after death, but also how much they cared about making sure people could live forever in the afterlife. These workshops teach us a lot about the rituals and beliefs of the time. They show us that death was not seen as the end for Egyptians. Instead, it was a new trip that needed careful steps and very special actions. The tools and rooms in these workshops show just how important mummification was. It was not only about keeping the body safe, it was also about helping the soul travel safely to another world. When you think about all these places together, the tomb of Perb, the pyramid of Unas, the unfinished pyramid at Abu Raash, and the workshops at Saqqara, they give us a big and rich picture of ancient Egypt. They show us that these people did not just build big stones and statues. They were very spiritual, and they believed strongly in life after death. They mixed power, religion, art, and magic all in a way that still amazes us today. Even after so many years, there is still so much to learn. These places hold many secrets. Each new discovery makes us ask more questions and look for more answers. Maybe one day we will understand all their secrets. But for now, they keep us wondering and dreaming about this amazing old world. Could the ancient builders of Egypt have hidden advanced knowledge right before our eyes? And if so, what secrets might the Great Pyramid still be keeping from us today? Let's delve deeper. New theories about Egypt's Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid of Giza and other ancient Egyptian constructions were discussed in detail on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Many of the opinions expressed by the show's participants contradict the opinions of the majority of experts today. According to them, Egypt's temples and pyramids are far more ancient and sophisticated than is commonly believed. The talk started by saying that some famous experts in Egypt, like Zahi Hawass, keep old ideas and do not accept new evidence. The people on the show think this is a problem because new scanning technology, like tomography and muon scans, is showing more secrets under these ancient sites. For example, they said that tomography was used by Italian scientists on a temple and found very accurate details, even 50 feet below the surface. This makes them believe that there could be more hidden rooms and tunnels under the pyramids and temples. Graham Hancock, a well-known writer who has different views about ancient history, was also talked about. Before, he could not visit Egypt because of conflicts with experts like Hawass, but now he can go back. This change made people on the show feel hopeful that more secrets could be explored. One person talked about his trip to Egypt. When he saw the large scale and detail of the pyramids and temples, he felt strongly that there is much more to learn. He also heard local guides say that what they tell tourists is not true, and that there are many hidden truths about how these structures were built and why. A very strange point they talked about was the carvings inside one temple. These carvings look like modern machines, such as a spaceship, a helicopter, and a submarine. The people on the show felt these carvings are very clear and look too real to be simple symbols. They think these images might show that the ancient builders had advanced technology or knowledge we do not understand. There was also a mention of a small wooden plane found inside a chamber. This find supports their idea that ancient people might have known about flying. Another point they raised was the King's List, which shows rulers going back over 30,000 years. Many historians think this list is a myth, but the people on the show think it might mean that the Egyptian civilization is much older than believed, maybe even hundreds of thousands of years old. They also talked about the pyramid base. Before building the main pyramid, there was a strong base, and some scans suggest there are underground structures that go as deep as 2 kilometers. This makes them think that we still do not know what is really below these sites. What happened to the original builders was another hot topic. Since the people of Egypt today are so different, they believe that the ancient civilization must have ended due to a major catastrophe or collapse. The Great Pyramid may not have been constructed as a tomb, according to the show's most important theory. Instead, they believe it worked like a big energy machine or a power plant. They think it collected natural energy using hydrogen and special structures inside. Inside the pyramid, there are different shafts called star shafts. Experts say these point to stars, but on the show, they said these shafts could be waveguides for energy, similar to how we use microwave technology today. They believe it helped collect and move energy because the size of one shaft even matches the wavelength of hydrogen. They think that 2 chemicals were mixed inside the Queen's chamber to create hydrogen gas. In order to create a powerful power source that could be moved through the shafts, the gas was then excited using energy from space. They also talked about the smooth limestone surface that used to cover the pyramid. They think this surface was not just decoration, but had a real function, maybe helping to collect light or energy. The shafts in the Queen's chamber were sealed and only found in 1872. Without this accident, no one would know they existed. There were also hidden rooms found by an explorer named Howard Weiss, who blasted his way in. Even though his methods were rough, these rooms taught us more about the pyramid. More recently, a project using muon scans found a large empty space above the Grand Gallery. This space is even bigger than the king's chamber and is about the size of an airplane cabin. In the end, the people on the Joe Rogan Experience believe the Great Pyramid was a very advanced and clean energy system, not just a tomb. They collaborated to gather and use energy in a unique way because they believed that every component had a purpose. They believe contemporary specialists ought to investigate further and be receptive to these novel concepts. What mysteries might still be concealed within the Great Pyramid, just waiting to be unearthed? Beyond the wonders of the exterior and the well-known outer stones, let's find out. The mysterious shaft and the hidden door. Rudolf Gantenbrink was a German engineer who lived in 1993. He was an extremely inquisitive man who enjoyed researching historic and enigmatic locations. He explored the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt in great detail that year. He wasn't there to observe the large halls and exterior stones that most people see. He wanted to look into something smaller and less known. His interest was aroused by a small shaft in what was called the Queen's Chamber. This small shaft was different from the other two in the King's Chamber. This shaft did not extend all the way to the outside, like those others did. It appeared to have only penetrated the wall for 10 feet or so before abruptly stopping. Nobody truly understood its purpose or the reason it was there. Many believed it to be nothing more than a dead-end tunnel with no significant secret. Rudolf was adamant about learning more. He was unable to crawl inside the shaft due to its small size. So, he built a small robot that could move through narrow spaces. This robot had a camera and a light, and it was small enough to fit into the shaft, which was only about 8 inches wide. When they sent this little robot into the shaft, something surprising happened. The robot went in and found that the shaft did not stop as people had thought. Instead, it turned and started to rise at an angle of about 40 degrees. It kept going for a long way, about 90 yards, which is almost as long as a football field. At the very end, the robot found a small limestone door. This door was very strange because it had 2 copper handles. Finding metal inside the Great Pyramid was shocking because the pyramid is mostly made of limestone, and metal is very rare in it. The door also had small gaps on its sides, making it look like something might be hidden behind it. Rudolf really wanted to find out what was behind this little door. He asked Zahi Hawass, who was the Minister of Antiquities in Egypt at that time, for permission to keep exploring and open the door. But instead of helping him, the Egyptian authorities stopped him. They did not allow him to continue, and they even banned his team from working there again. Zahi Hawass has a history of stopping research that might show new ideas different from the official story about ancient Egypt. If the mysterious shafts and hidden doors inside the Great Pyramid challenge everything we thought we knew, one question still lingers. What other surprising secrets might its design and measurements reveal about the builders and their knowledge? Let's take a closer look. The Great Pyramid's hidden secrets and advanced knowledge. The usual story told to people is that the Great Pyramid was built around 4,500 years ago. It is said to have been built by Pharaoh Khufu, and many people think it was his tomb. According to this story, it took only 20 years to build the entire pyramid. When the pyramid was first finished, it did not look like it does today. Back then, it was covered in smooth white limestone. From the base to the top, it looked like a bright, shining structure. The very top of the pyramid had a capstone made of gold, which made it shine even more under the sun. But in the year 1200, a big earthquake hit Egypt. This earthquake caused damage to many buildings in Cairo. Pieces of limestone from the pyramid broke and fell. After that, people took away the rest of the limestone and even the golden capstone to rebuild their city. This is why the pyramid now has a rough, blocky look. Even though people say it was a tomb, no mummy of Khufu or anyone else has ever been found inside the Great Pyramid. In fact, no mummies have ever been found in any pyramid. The only sign linking Khufu to the pyramid is his name, which is painted in red on some stones inside. These are not deeply carved writings, but look more like quick graffiti. Some believe these could have been added later. and not during the time the pyramid was actually built. Another surprising thing is that there are no real hieroglyphs inside the Great Pyramid. There are no carvings telling us who built it or how it was done. This makes the story of its creation even more mysterious and raises many questions. The pyramid is made up of about 2.3 million stone blocks. Each block weighs between 2 tons and up to 80 tons. The biggest stones came from a quarry about 500 miles away. It is hard to imagine how ancient people could move such heavy stones so far, especially since they did not have wheels back then. The wheel was not even invented yet at that time. Modern tests using copper tools, like the ones ancient Egyptians would have used, show that these tools are not strong enough to cut or shape such big stones easily. In one test, after many days of hard work using copper chisels, researchers could hardly make a small dent. Sometimes they had to use modern power saws just to finish the work. Even more amazing is that the stones in the pyramid fit together so perfectly that you cannot even slide a razor blade between them. People find it hard to believe that workers placed these stones so carefully and so quickly. If they really finished the pyramid in 20 years, they would have had to place about 300 stones every single day without stopping, which seems almost impossible. Unlike other pyramids that often broke or fell apart, the Great Pyramid has stayed strong for thousands of years. It also has a very special shape. Instead of having 4 sides, it actually has 8. This is not something you can see easily from the ground. It was first seen clearly from the air in the 40s at sunrise and sunset during the equinox. The pyramid is also aligned almost perfectly to true north. Its precision is about 99.94%, which is better than many modern buildings. The design also uses advanced math ideas like pi and the golden ratio, which were not officially known until long after the pyramid was built. The location of the pyramid is also very special. It sits at the center point of all land on Earth. The size of its base and other measurements match numbers related to Earth's shape very closely. If you make the pyramid 43,200 times bigger, it matches the northern half of the planet with amazing accuracy. Even the coordinates of the pyramid match the speed of light in meters per second, which is 209,792,458. This number was only discovered many centuries later. Inside the pyramid, some chambers have a vibration or sound frequency that matches Earth's natural vibrations. This frequency is 432 Hz. All these facts make people wonder if the builders of the Great Pyramid knew more than we think. It looks like they had deep knowledge about math, astronomy, and Earth itself. The pyramid continues to be one of the biggest mysteries of the ancient world, and it leaves us asking many questions even today. The Great Pyramid's secrets might never be fully uncovered. No matter how many theories or discoveries come up, there will always be questions left hanging in the air. Maybe that's what makes it so special. It keeps us wondering, dreaming, and searching for answers that might stay hidden forever. What do you think about the mystery of the pyramid? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.